This is the carpus in the dog. We're going to briefly cover its anatomy and functions in this video. So this is the cranial side, the front side of the carpus. We're going to turn medially, the inside. You can see the dew claw here on the medial side. This is going to be the caudal view. You can see the accessory carpal bone protruding out the back, and the lateral or outside view of the carpus. So first, we're going to have the ulna coming down here, inserting into the lateral side on the carpus, and the radius coming down here, inserting on the front and medial side. Here we have the 7 carpal bones. We have here on the slightly more medial side, this larger carpal bone here. It's hard to see on this model. See if we can get the camera to focus here. Which is the intermedial radial carpal bone, often just called the radial carpal bone. And then we move lateral and we have the ulnar carpal bone. We come to the back here and we can see the accessory carpal bone protruding out, where like the flexor carpi ulnaris is going to be inserting into. And then we move down here a little bit more distally, down the carpus, and we're going to have the next row of carpal bones. We're going to have the first, second, third, and fourth carpal bones, starting from the medial side, first, second, third, and fourth. There's going to be a couple levels of joints in the carpus. We have the antebrachial carpal joints here, so where the antebrachial bones, the radius and the ulna, interact with the intermediate radial carpal bone and the ulnar carpal bone here. That's the top layer, top level of the carpal joint. That's where most of the movement of the carpal joint is going to be coming from. We then go down one level and we have this middle carpal joint here, where the top level of the carpal bones interact with the bottom level of the carpal bones. And then we have the carpal metacarpal joint, where these bottom level, first, second, third, and fourth carpal bones interact with the metacarpals going down here into the paw. So now that we have a really brief summary of the anatomy, at some point we'll do a more in-depth video, let's talk about the functions of the carpus. So the primary function of the carpus is going to be flexion. It's going to be bending the paw, flexing it, and extending the paw. Just think hyperextension, like you see like carpal collapse in the dog, that's hyperextension. The opposite is flexion. So if I do it on my wrist, here I'm extending, bringing my fingers up and flexing my wrist, flexing it under, okay? So abduction and adduction are going to be secondary movements for the carpus. Adduction is where the paw moves medially, the carpus moves medially. Abduction, abduction, is where it moves laterally. If I do it on my wrist here, adduction, again, this is the inside, here my thumb. Adduction is going to be moving medially. Abduction is going to be moving outward, laterally. There's also going to be a small degree of pronation and supination that occurs in the carpus. So pronation is going to be when the paw is rotating medially inward and also down. It's like the bottom of the paw is trying to go in and down. Supination is when the paw is rotating outward and up. So the bottom of the paw is trying to come up, like you're going to see the bottoms of the paw pads. So if I do it again, pronation, I'm pronating inward, down, supinating outward and up. So those are the basic functions and anatomy of the carpal joint in the dog. Thanks for watching.